What is going on, you guys? We are back with another video. To the new subscribers, welcome aboard. Your suspects, welcome on back. So tomorrow is my birthday, and my mom's coming in, and my wife's taking off work, so we got some family plans. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let's get another video shot. So that's what this is going to be about, and we're actually going to start a new series. And the reason, like I said, is when I look back at why I make videos was to help. And so I want to try and impart some knowledge from my successes, mistakes, whatever. So this is going to be a multi-part series about different things that I think new truck drivers and even some experienced truck drivers, you guys can use to bring in some knowledge to maybe do one thing to help make your trucking career easier. That's all I'm trying to do. Just give you that one little bit of information. Hey, maybe something I may say that may think outside the box. They can save you a lot of headache when getting into this industry. Now, this is not legal advice. This is not how to get your CDL because, quite frankly, they've changed how to get your CDL since I got mine. There's courses you got to take, but I am working on getting my endorsements. So maybe apps that I use or experiences that I use, I'll also impart some of that because I know that I got to take a computer course now to get my hazmat. I can't just go take the test. But I also got to get doubles and triples and the tanker. I'm going to get all my endorsements. I got the free time, right? So, again, this is a series to impart some information. Now, a little background that maybe some of you don't even know, or some new subscribers about me, is I've actually been in the transportation logistics side of the industry for about 12 years. That was before trucking, so I guess we're coming up on almost 15 years now that I've been in and out of this industry. So I've seen it grow. I've seen maybe even some sides of it that you may not know, from towing to sales to I've been a logistics planner. I've been a dispatcher. So like I said, I want to use my background to impart some knowledge and maybe give you guys some information that might really help you out. And the first thing that I see a lot when you're talking about on YouTube, when you're talking about new drivers, and the question I would get asked, whether I was at TMC or Prime, is, hey, I got to make X amount of dollars a week. And if you're coming into trucking and your first thought is, I got to make X amount of dollars a week, you've almost immediately put yourself in the hole. You've put an albatross around your neck because, you got bills. Hey, I'm a realist. I'm an optimist. I'm not a moron, depending, of course, who you ask. But, I understand you have bills. So what I'm trying to find is creative ways to reduce that nut as much as possible, because you are supposed to be out here learning to drive a 75-foot long flatbed. You got to learn how to drive a truck, back a split axle, and secure a load. You're driving a reefer. You got to figure out how the reefer works, how often you need fuel for the reefer. You're trying to figure out all this stuff, and you're putting in a disadvantage if you walk in going, I got to make this amount a week. You do have to figure out what that number is. I'll talk about that in a minute. But if that number is controlling your journey, you are creating and making this so hard on yourself, because why would you want to reduce the nut, right? Why do I want to reduce my bills? Why do I want to have some savings? Why do I want to be prepared for that? Well, for the new guys, the answer is simple. Like I just said, you got to figure out how this game works. You're walking into a brand new industry that you're trying to figure out, okay, what is this? What is that? What is this? And most of you are going to be on a trainer's truck. Well, guess what? That's their truck, his or her truck. They're not set up for you. That's set up for them. So there's going to be some expenses in that. Experienced guys, even if you're switching companies, well, you may have gone from a Kenworth to a Freightliner, and you try to figure out, they back differently, they drive differently, cruise control. There's so many different things you need to learn. And if you're broke, that makes learning twice as hard. Not only does it make it twice as hard, it can cause you some serious problems. So that's what we're trying to reduce, is find ways to reduce your nut before you get into trucking, or while you're in trucking especially. Because I'll give you one of the stories, one of the things my wife and I did. And, 2018, I'm a car truck guy, any kind of thing on four wheels, but I prefer trucks. I drive an F-250. My daughter's 17, drives a Dodge Ram. She loves trucks as much as I do. But in 2018, for commuting, I needed a car. And so I went out and bought my dream car. Bright red, black rims, Roush exhaust, 2018 Ford Mustang GT. And that sucker was fast. I know, you guys, you got faster cars. But as not a car guy, that was a car that I dreamed of. And I got it. But as we went into trucking, we said, what do we need two cars for? I'm home. Even Texas Dedicated, you're home every weekend. Okay, the weekend's 48 hours. Do I really need to pay for a car for an entire month? And I have this month expense from the car payment to the insurance to oil changes, tires. Do I need that expense when I'm going to use it 8 times a month, even being home every weekend. We said, no, we can make it by on one car. Now, my kids have cars and there's backup. I'm not stranded if my wife is at work, but the amount of that reduced the cost was substantial. And so if there's anything you're leaving your loved ones at home, right? We're not canceling the TV, we're not canceling the cell phone bills, but iPads or whatever. You have to leave the family something, or you may need stuff on the road, but you've got to find a way to reduce that nut by $50 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month. Anything that you can do can reduce that, because I will tell you, perfect story from the last company I was at. I went over there and I had to wait for a truck. Well, if you're waiting for a truck, you're not making money. But they had it in plan. Hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars as a lease operator, X amount of dollars a day while you wait for your truck. Well, I ended up waiting for my truck for a week. So no revenue for a week, but I'm going to get paid. They're going to give me this money. I delivered my first load. And guess what? We live in a digital world now. And whoever was supposed to hit the X key didn't hit the Y key, or for whatever reason, something happened. And I wasn't paid that money. And that was substantial money. Now, they quickly fixed it. Great company, stand-up company. But had I been living paycheck to paycheck, which is your biggest problem, had I been broke, I would have been in a hurt locker. You're talking about, I can't give my wife money to put gas in the truck because I didn't get paid. You don't want to be in that situation. So anything that you can cut out, I'm telling you, will be a benefit to you. Find the useless stuff. Try and cut it down, especially getting into trucking, because it takes time. If you're in training in a new company, it takes time to build up your nest egg. So anything you can do is going to be a burden. So, if you get your first truck, you got to do that. You've got to get it set up. There's just so many expenses that nobody tells you about. And that's life, right? I mean, I got 4 kids. Every day there's a new expense that I didn't plan on. So you want to be able to save. And that also encourages to when you first get your truck, because, like I said, when I got that money for waiting on the truck, I wasn't like, ooh, why not go spend it because I wasn't broke. You're actually able to save more, because I will tell you, if you get in trucking to just make a lot of money, you will get into trucking and you will spend a lot of money. It is very easy at the truck stops, at the terminals to deck out. You see the guy, Slick Rick, my old scrouls know who old Slick Rick is. You see Slick Rick roll by and I want that. I want the lights. I want this. And you spend that money and then somebody screws up your paycheck and you're broke. You're just creating stress. You're putting an albatross around your neck. You're making this harder. So it's hard to transition to a new company. It's been hard to transition out of driving a truck for me. And if we were broke, it would be an even harder transition. So that is the whole point of this video. And like I said, I'm doing this as a series, is we want to find ways to reduce the nut so we can go in and learn to drive a truck, because that's the whole point. So if you're bored learning to drive a truck, check out my video on the memes. I've already seen my homework. That's been awesome. But life's great. Keep it coming. I'll have more videos. God bless, and let's get rolling.